So hi there. There's a reason why I have my golf cap on. It's because my hair's an absolute mess. So I do apologise for that. I'm going to be going for a haircut today, but anyway, let's cut to the interesting part. I promised that I would give a little bit of an update about my progress. A little bit more of a regular update about the progress. So I think I remember speaking a little bit about how I just joined a Toastmasters group in Dorchester. The first visit was as a guest visit. I'm not a fully fledged member just yet. I will be joining up in the last meeting. It is a really cool format. Quite daunting because in the latter half of the meeting they do something a little bit more spontaneous, and they come up with a topic and they call out several people from the group to speak about the topic, and that's absolutely for anyone who has a blushing disorder or some sort of anxiety about speaking in front of other people. Just that very thing about being called out on the spot, that is awful. It feels like you're being attacked. Rah! Do this now. Get up and speak in front of all these people, and that is incredibly daunting. And what happens? A surge of energy into the neck area, chest, neck, face, and that's it. I feel myself going incredibly red. Luckily it didn't happen because as I mentioned, I'm not a member yet, but there is a very big real risk that when I become a member of Toastmaster, beg your pardon, is that it's going to happen. So I have to come up with tools to deal with it. Anyway, I've also started yoga. Now the style of yoga, I think it's a little bit hatha-like yoga. The reason I'm doing the yoga is for the breathing and about how we should focus on the breath when we're in a stressful position. Now, these yoga moves aren't incredibly stressful, but what they are is that whilst focus is on doing the move, you have to bring back the focus onto your breathing. So if you feel a little bit of a tense stress in your legs, okay, well, you know what, let's get back the focus to the breath. And as I've just been talking about, someone who has an anxiety problem, the focus is nowhere on the breath. The focus is on just how stupid you're looking, or perhaps I should say just how stupid you think you're looking. So today, yeah, I've had my yoga session this morning, and you know, something very interesting happened there, which is interesting to speak about, and I know a lot of people can relate to this. At the end of the last week's group, she went around the group, the leader went around the group and asked everyone, "Oh, how are you feeling? How was that?" And there's five of us there, and she started at the other end of the room. I was the fifth down the line and the last down the line. She started at number one. So as soon as she asked number one, how did you find today's session? I said to myself, Christ, she's going to come to me. She is coming to me and she is going to ask me how I found that session. And in front of everyone else, I'm going to have to answer her. Oh, it was horrible. So she came to the girl number 4, girl next to me, and I didn't listen to anyone really. You know, I wasn't. I was just focusing on me. What the hell? Not what I'm gonna say, but is how the hell am I gonna get through this? So yeah, the inevitable happens. Luke, how you doing? How did you find today's session? Oh, it was awful. It was just, well, my lips were so incredibly tight, or they felt. I can't even remember what I said as an answer. I cannot remember what I said. It was that pathetic. And I didn't breathe or anything. And it's like, I remember nothing about all of those cognitive sessions that I've been through thus far. I remembered absolutely nothing. I felt, and I came away from there feeling a complete failure. And when I went this week to my new cognitive session, CBT session with Kerry, I marked on the form that no, I am not feeling good about my anxiety problem, because I've been going for 6-7 weeks, and 1 week on there on yoga, and I felt as though I've learned absolutely nothing, because right when I was put in that spotlight, right in the headlight, I froze and I forgot everything. So that brings me back to today's session. The same thing happened, and I was speaking with my therapist about it, and I asked her, you know, how the hell do I get through this? I need a tool. I need to do something to be more interactive and involve myself in the group, and be able to answer just a stupid question as how did you find that today, Luke? So she started again, the yoga teacher down at the first lady. I was the 5th down the line. We all kept our positions this week in the room, and I had a bit of a panic, I must admit, when she got down to number 1. I said, oh God, here we go again. She's coming to me. And the funny thing is that I felt a little bit more panicky today about that. Because I said to myself, I was sitting there, I was saying, oh God, Luke, okay, now you've got to get through this. Now you've got to get through this. All right, don't panic, don't panic. Oh, fuck, you're panicking. So I said to myself, okay, what tools have I learned? I've got to think now on the spot. What tools have I learned to get through this? So one thing that my CBT therapist said to me is, Luke, is get yourself back into the situation where you are. Get into the present. Listen to what the other people are giving for answers. You know, show them some respect and actually just listen to their answer. So I did that. And, you know, the girl next to me, she got to number 4, and the girl next to me was answering. So I looked at the girl, and then I engaged myself a little bit with the girl and smiled. I smiled. Because as my GP says, smiling, if you smile, it actually fools the brain that you're in a good mood. So I turned to the girl next to me and smiled and laughed a little bit, you know. Oh, but it worked. I actually felt quite good. And then just that little bit of that good feeling, I felt, wow, this is actually working. So I smiled, yeah, brilliant. And so the yoga teacher, she came to me, number 5, and she said, okay, Luke, how did you find it? So I didn't answer her directly. I took a little bit of a breath. I breathed a little bit. And if I'm just putting myself in this position, in the position that I was, I breathed a little bit. And I said to her, yeah, I think it was a good session. Thank you. I think it was a little bit more of a stressful session than last week. That's how I experienced it in any case. And you know what? When I answered her, I focused on my breathing. And I gave myself time to answer the question. The focus the entire time was on the breathing, because I knew what I was going to say. I knew how the session was. How could I articulate that? And I articulated it by breathing and focusing on my breath. So there I was applying two things. Applying what I'd learned from my CBT session, was that put yourself in the present and engage yourself in the present. Don't engage yourself in this tension. Now, it's very easy to say engage yourself in the present. Well, how did I do that? I looked at the girl next to me and I smiled. How do you do that in other situations? I'm not sure. I'm going to have to learn that. But I found today that engaging myself and smiling made me feel a lot better. And then when I was put on the spot in the headlights there, I didn't freeze. I breathed and just answered the question, but very calmly. So yeah, I feel in a good mood today. I feel in a good mood because I have never, well, in the last 35 years that I can remember, I've never answered a question in front of other people the way I have today. So, more to come. Thanks for listening. I'll keep you guys updated.